Alrighty, thank you everyone who is attending today's 101 information session. Welcome. If you go ahead and place your name, email address, and ID number into the chat box for getting credit for those of you who've just attended. So my name is Brittany Hamilton. I am one of the Education Abroad advisors here at University of Houston Clear Lake. I am here on behalf of Education Abroad and Scholar Services, and I'm excited to discuss the opportunities that UHCL has for you to study abroad, the advantages of studying abroad, and how you can make that all work. So this is our Education Abroad staff. Should you pursue your study abroad journey, you'll be working with one of us to help facilitate the process. Our team members include Dr. Bianca Schonberg, who is our Executive Director of Education Abroad and Scholar Services. We also have Larissa Landry, who is another Education Abroad advisor who advises students on faculty-led programs as well as exchange programs. And I am Brittany Hamilton. As I said before, I advise students on third-party partner provider programs. Alrighty, so depending on your choice of program, you'll also be working with a program provider or independent program provider or third-party provider. These providers are an institution or organization that offers education abroad services to students. A program provider can be a college or university. It can be UHCL if you're doing a faculty-led program, or a nonprofit organization, or a consortium, sorry. Okay, so you're probably wondering why study abroad? Study abroad is a great opportunity for anyone from any background. Being abroad allows you to enhance your personal, academic, and professional growth. And with tons of financial aid and scholarship opportunities, it can allow you to do something super fun and exciting while transforming your understanding of the world. It's beneficial in developing language skills, but note that you do not need to know the language of the host country in order to study abroad there. You can also build leadership skills in addition with building international networks and so much more. Okay, so the benefits are practically endless. Finding employment after graduation can be really tough, so you'll want to consider what's going to make your resume stand out amongst the rest. And studying abroad can give you that opportunity. We have programs that are as short as a week to as long as an academic year and everything in between. So we've had students in the past who have started off with a week or 2 week long program. And as they got comfortable, they built the length of their stay as they kept going out on programs. So whatever your reasoning is, or however long you want to go on a program, we're here to let you know that we can ensure and find a program that meets your goals. Okay, so I want you to dream a little for me. What does your dream education abroad experience look like? Do you want to be immersed in the culture, just exploring new tastes, sounds, and sights? Or do you want to work with the experts in your field, in the country that you're studying abroad in? We want you to know there's something out there for everyone. So if you want to spend 90% of the time just hanging out at the beach and just chilling, and just 10% in the classroom, we want you to know that we can find a program that there's programs for that too. So these are a few things that students who've studied abroad in the past have said. Everyone is different for their reasonings to go abroad. But it's just something about when students go abroad and they come back a totally different person. It just benefits them for the better. Some choose to do it in order to prove to their parents that they are a more independent person. Others choose to do it because it was just a lifelong dream to study abroad somewhere. And studying abroad, not studying abroad, it was a lifelong dream to travel internationally, and study abroad gave them that opportunity. So for whatever your reasoning is behind it, we want to let you know that we're here to find a program that meets your goal. Okay. So you're probably thinking, what are the requirements? For UHCL students, you must complete 2 semesters here at UHCL before applying. However, if you do not meet that 2-semester requirement, we can ask for an exception with your course approval form from your college to allow you to study abroad early. You must also make sure that you are within good academic standing, meaning that you don't have any disciplinary issues in the past with UHCL. And also just ensuring that your GPA matches, meets the requirements of the program that you are applying for. Generally, the GPA requirement is 2.5, and some programs have a higher GPA requirement. So that's something you want to look at as well. Okay. So these are all important factors when considering or choosing a program, especially number 1, because with education abroad, studying abroad goes hand in hand with your academics. You'll also want to think about duration. How long would you want to be abroad? And then you want to think about location. Do you want to be located in a vibrant, busy city in Latin America, or do you want to be in a more relaxed, intimate, quiet countryside in Europe? Housing, you'll want to consider if you want to stay and live in a dorm with your peers or live in an apartment of your on your own. And last but not least, cost. You'll want to consider if you could do the program with financial aid and scholarship help without breaking the bank. Okay. So like I said, studying abroad goes hand in hand with your academics. So you'll want to meet with your academic advisor or college first before visiting us to plan what courses you can take abroad. Unless you plan to pay out of pocket, it's important that these courses are approved by your college so that they can transfer back and count towards your degree plan. That way, if you are wanting to apply for financial aid, you can do that. But please note, if the program you're interested in does not meet your degree plan or does not fit your degree plan, you can still apply for it. And you can apply for scholarships and grants as well to alleviate the cost. It's just that financial aid will not cover the program if your courses do not count towards your degree plan. So if that's something that you're really relying on, you want to, we advise that you check out the program courses and ensure with your academic advisor that those courses fit that degree plan. So you'll want to be ready to discuss a few things. Some good questions to ask your academic advisor is, when is the best time to go? Some colleges, like College of Education, are real specific on semesters that you can study abroad. So you want to coordinate your schedule well and find an education abroad program that satisfies both you and your college. Another good question that is great to ask your academic advisor, what type of courses can I take abroad? Some colleges are really specific on the courses that they want their students to take overseas. Some will suggest taking only electives abroad. Others will suggest taking a core class because UHCL might only offer it once a year. And to ensure that the credit that you have credit and graduate on time, you may have the option to take it abroad in a country that's offering it earlier than UHCL. So that, you could take that course in London or Tokyo, or you could take that course at HCC or Sanjak, whichever location sounds more exciting to you. If you have electives, getting a language course is course credit is a great option to fill that elective. Why learn Spanish in the Bayou building when you can learn it in Argentina or Peru? So like I previously said, you don't need to know the foreign language of the country you're studying abroad in. There are plenty of options for English being your only language that you know. So don't worry about that. Okay, once again, meet with your academic advisor first to plan what courses you could take abroad and ensure that they will transfer back to UHCL. We are not your academic advisors, so we cannot help you on that end. So it's very vital that you have that information ready before we move forward with suggesting different programs that offer approved courses you can take abroad. If you don't meet with your academic advisors, sometimes I know that they can be very, very busy. We can definitely still meet and go over some programs, but ultimately, you're going to have to ensure and meet with them that ultimately you're going to need to ensure that those courses can be approved by then. So you'll be able to take a course approval form and the syllabus to your advisor so that they can determine what classes or specific classes that can fit your degree plan. Okay, so think where you fall on this spectrum. Programs range from complete handholding to completely independent. So those of you who feel more comfortable being on a group flight, having a prearranged housing, having all your excursions planned for you, you may fall to the left, and that is perfectly okay if this is your first time studying abroad. Some of you may be very independent. Maybe you've already traveled before internationally, so you're okay flying independently. You'll arrange your own housing, you'll plan your own downtime or itinerary on the weekends. You'll fall to the right. And some of you may fall right in the middle. Meaning that you may want to be on a group flight and you may want your schedule planned for you. But your excursions and your downtime, you'll plan that yourself. So wherever you fall on the spectrum, we're here to let you know that there's a program that can fit your needs. So if you are interested in an international work experience, you may want to consider internships abroad. Many companies are wanting internationally competent workers, so this is huge in boosting your resume and making it stand out amongst the rest when you are applying for jobs. So most of these internships are unpaid, but the provider in our office will work to find scholarship and financial aid opportunities to help you alleviate the cost. We have virtual internships available as well. These are particularly for students who are may not have the funds or the opportunity or the time to actually travel internationally. Though it may not equate to actually interning abroad, it's still beneficial in building those international work networks and building your work experience and adding value to your resume. Okay, duration and location. So many, these are just general duration and location guidelines here. So we have thinking about location, big city versus small town. You'll want to think about if that's something you want to do. You may not be, if you're a person who likes to have public transportation, you like to have, access to Wi-Fi and shops and things like that, you may want to consider a big city. Some people like small, intimate, Europe, quiet areas. that's perfectly fine as well. You may want a more intimate feeling to it. You make a lot of friends as you'll be seen as the newcomer, and people will be more interested in your study abroad experience. So we have durations. We have an academic year. We have semesters, which is about 3 to 4 months long, and we have summer semesters that are about a couple weeks to a month long. Okay. So these are the typical housing options. Most programs already have the housing included into the program. So most of the time students just go ahead and accept the housings that's laid out in the program. Others just will find a program that has the housing type that they are preferring. So there's typically 3 types of housing: homestays, student dorms, and apartments. Okay, so homestays are the cheapest option. You'll be paired with a host family that you are studying abroad in. You'll be typically given your own room, but you may need to share a room like the bathroom. This type of housing may encourage you to want to learn the language more, as you know, the host family may be speaking in that language. These usually with the homestays, you'll be fed, I think, 2 out of 3 meals on some programs. Some programs it may be all meals included. It just depends on the program. And then we have apartments. You can hunt down your own apartment and find your own apartment and rent. Or the program may have a certain amount of apartments that are reserved for their students, are blocked off, where you may or may not need to may or may not share with a roommate. These are for students who are more independent and very particular about their living arrangements. And then we have student dorms. These are for more sociable students. If you want some more of a greater sense of security and access to school resources as well. Student dorms, you'll need to make sure where the student dorms are located. We had a student before that studied in Chile, and he did not realize that his dorm was located 25 minutes away from the university, but all his dorm essentials were the same. He had this food ready for him, the building was well secured, and he made a lot of friends, and they actually commuted together to the university. So make sure when you're reading into the locations of the housing, you know where they're located and how far away they are from the host university. For apartments, I must note that while everyone's financial aid situation is different, you may have the opportunity to use financial aid to cover anything, including rent. The cost of rent can be included on the budget sheet that usually accompanies each program. So there should be an item line on there where you can include the rent. So it just depends on your situation, and it just depends on financial aid. So I did want to note that. Okay. Let's see, financial aid and scholarships. So many times when I'm speaking with students, and everybody's financial situation is different. So some families are living paycheck to paycheck, some people are living paycheck to paycheck. So the thought of doing an education abroad program just seems financially impossible. But luckily there are tons of opportunities for scholarships and grant opportunities to help lower the costs. And with a mixture of this and financial aid, it could be enough to allow you to do a program for practically free. But you have to be really driven when applying. So there's a lot of opportunities, especially for those of you who are first-generation college students, minority students, and students who are attending minority-serving institutions like UHCL. Programs also have scholarships and grants built into their companies as well. So definitely check out their scholarship and grant web pages to see which ones you are eligible for applying. We have our International Education Fee Award. This is a scholarship that I encourage all students to apply for. As you can see, these are the eligibility requirements here. You can also use financial aid to cover the cost of your program. But be aware, financial aid does not disperse its funds until 10 days before the start of the program, meaning that you may have to pay some expenses beforehand. Some larger partner providers may be willing to work with you and may be willing to pay the cost on your behalf. So, they can cover your expenses if they receive a document from financial aid stating that they will reimburse them. But that just depends on the actual provider, and it just depends on financial aid. Let's go to the next slide. Okay. So deadlines vary. So more popular programs like those in England, South Korea, Japan, Australia, those programs are extremely popular, so they tend to close very early. So you'll need to connect with us even if your program does not start for another year, because with education abroad and studying abroad, you want to start the process at least 9 months to a year beforehand. If you come to us and you're within that 9-month area, we can still work with you, but we would have to move extremely quickly with getting in your applications and documents and things like that. Okay, so start researching why you want to study abroad, where you'd want to study abroad. We have advising hours by appointment only, because we really need to take the time to sit down and give you the attention that you need. Our office is open from Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. We have plenty of resource materials and brochures in our library with different up-to-date program resources that you can look through and take home for your review. Our office is located in the Bayou building on the second floor, 2123. And please visit our website to search for programs and stop by any international programming that we host, such as our Education Abroad Fair that we hosted this fall. This is our Education Abroad webpage. This will allow you to look through different programs that our partner providers and UHCL offers. Typically, it addresses the application deadlines on here as well, but you can also visit the website to look at the confirmed deadlines. This will also be where you will submit your application as well. You will also have links, as I said, to the provider programs to get more thorough description and in-depth information. These programs also have syllabus there that you can download on those websites as well. So remember that it's very vital for you to get that syllabus and course approval form to your academic advisor for course approval. If you can't locate the syllabi, that's perfectly fine. You could just reach out to us and we can reach out to the provider to obtain that for you. Okay, so here's a quick look on how to apply. First, you will attend a 101 information session. So congratulations, you all. You have taken the first step. You will choose 2 to 3 programs that can fit your degree plan after the conversation that you have with your academic advisor that offer those courses. So you'll pick 2 to 3 programs and the locations that you want to study abroad in. You'll make an appointment with an education abroad advisor. We'll review the program, answer any questions that you have, and the next steps so that we can hopefully narrow it down to one program that you want to move forward with. After that, you will complete an education abroad application. You will also apply to the program of your choice, meaning that you will also submit an application with the provider as well. You will also choose the courses that you would like to take on that program and obtain approval from your college. And then after that, you can apply for financial aid and scholarships. So here's a look at our faculty-led programs. These programs are really great for first-time study abroad students. You will enroll into the course and you will go with other UHCL students and a faculty member. They will lead the program, and then you will come back and apply what you learned to the course. Typically, these are 2 to 3 weeks long as well. So as you can see here, we had a program in Kenya, England, and Jordan. We have a few other faculty-led programs that are coming up and will be going out starting this spring, like our Oman program with Dr. Maria Curtis. I believe we also have a UK program in the UK, as well as Brazil program in the Amazon. And then I believe some upcoming Kenya programs and possibly a Spain program is going to be coming up soon as well. Okay. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram. We have plenty of information on there regarding our partner providers, upcoming events, student stories, some resource materials or links or information on there. If you have any questions that I could not answer today, please email us at educationabroad@uacl.edu. And at this point, I can check and see if there are any questions. Okay, so it seems like most of the questions have been answered here. I see someone is raising their hand. Hold on one second. I just can't see who it is. Okay. Miss James, did you get your question answered? I see that you've raised your hand. Check in the chat here as well. Oh, okay. I will go ahead and allow you to unmute yourself.
Hi, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
So I have a couple friends who've actually studied abroad, and I've talked to them, and like they've like, and one of them is still abroad now, and I don't know like specifically what program she's in, but I've talked to her and she's talked to her program, and whoever I was just talking to in the anonymous chat kind of answered it a little bit, and I Googled it a little bit, but I just wanted to know, like, just from someone, because that's your expertise, is it possible to study, because Google says yes and a lot of the programs say yes, but Google says a lot of things. Can you do abroad with a family? Like, I've wanted to study abroad a lot, but I don't know if I'm willing to be, months away from my family. And I don't mean like my parents and my siblings. Like, I have a family, like I have a child, I have children and a husband.
Okay, so you're saying if you will be able to take your children with you?
Yes. Like, would they, because I was just looking at some EPCI something website, and they were like, just depends on the program. But generally you just have to like make accommodations ahead of time, make sure you're with the right program. But I just didn't know if that is like, I'm pretty sure it'd be a little harder than most people, but is it ideal or realistic or like,
Yeah, so I I believe that you can do it. I have not had a student in that situation before, so I
Right.
can't give you like my expertise on
Mm-hmm.
experience. But I believe that you can do that. Like I said, you'll have to go through, it'll probably be more financially um, you'll probably have more finances on that because you'll have
Mm-hmm.
to get visas for each of your family member.
Right.
The cost of tickets, if you do travel internationally, will be higher as well. So your expenses will be probably a lot higher depending on how large your family is.
Mm-hmm.
But I do see that it is doable if you are okay with those expenses.
Yeah, financially I'm fine. I just didn't know if like the programs allowed it because I was gonna take a year off from school and we were going to just go somewhere. But if I can stay in school and do it, and like you said, add it onto my resume and get that experience through school, then that's perfect. Because we
Yeah.
were, like I said, we were gonna take a year off and just move somewhere. But if we can do it that way, I don't want to leave my kids behind or my husband, but mainly, so I just didn't know if that was something that was doable. And I just really never knew who to ask.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm pretty sure speaking with the actual provider to see
Okay.
what that would look like. Maybe like your accommodations maybe need to be different. Maybe you would have to just rent your own apartment in that location as well. But
Mm-hmm.
I believe that it's doable. I mean, as long as you're doing the program, you're going to your classes,
Mm-hmm.
um, I don't see that there would be an issue with that.
Okay.
It's just that your expenses probably would be a little bit
Yeah,
higher.
a little bit. Yeah. So for more information on that, because I don't know anything about this, I have a cousin who's abroad right now, and she was just like she did it through school, so she does. I mean, they kind of did everything for her. So would I just set up a meeting with you guys, or should I just go straight to a program? Like, how does that work?
So after you find some programs, definitely speak with your academic advisor.